And he was kind of like, okay.
He's like, did I don't know. If you're just tuning in, we are talking to Dave Murgittroyd, actor, singer, my favorite elf. Did you like that? On the thing, I was like, actor, elf.
Yeah, I always forget that I was wearing elf ears.
You were wearing elf ears
in the Christmas commercial.
New Jersey, so that's like our New Jersey.
Here we go.
Our New Jersey.
I'm gonna bring up our Facebook to see if anyone's asking any questions or anything.
We like to always, we don't always have a New Jersey connection, but when we do, we love it. So, I guess if you're just tuning in, Dave was the New Jersey Lottery hipster elf that was plastered all over New Jersey, and now it's plastered in his house. And I mean, so now I want to even go back further though, because you did this great commercial.
Sure.
Was it during the Super Bowl?
Where
you were the king?
No, so it was this not this past summer, the summer before. It was a series of fantasy football, ESPN.
Oh, right,
ESPN
that was it. Okay,
that
was it.
Yeah, which we shot up in Boston. Those were really, really fun. They were really high budget, and we worked with this. Are you familiar with LARP? With live
I
action,
know.
live action
Listen.
role-playing?
Okay.
Dude, I did the Rent Fair.
Okay.
I even camped at Penzic. I have the clothes.
I could totally see you doing Ren Fair, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
So anyway, go on. So LARPing, live action role-play.
So the idea of it was so it was for fantasy football, so it was like good fantasy versus bad fantasy, and kind of the idea of the commercial was that fantasy football is good and LARP fantasy world is bad.
Right, yeah.
Kind of a little weird, but anyway, I mean, it was in good fun, I think, and we worked with all of the extras on set. They brought in 20 actual people from the LARP community. So we would take break, we'd take 10, and these dudes were on the side with their foam swords, and they were beating the shit out of each other.
Bafo weapons.
Yeah, it was called, I think they called it DAG, is a specific branch of the LARP community, DAG, DAG, where they use really thick foam swords and awesome shields and stuff like that, and it's really intense, because I was just it's a role-playing thing, it'll be fun to watch them, and then we watch them and they're like, do you want to try it? And I'm like, no.
I don't think so. Well, I used to do this thing called the Penzic War. It's medieval camping. It's literally at the end of Pennsylvania. It takes 6 hours to get there, and you camp in. Not everyone has this, but a lot of people have these medieval. I mean, these tents are insane. We're talking Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings. Mm-hmm. They bring beds in. They have chandeliers. I mean, they go all out. And I was in my 20s. I tell you, it was one of the best times of my life. I mean, the parties are insane.
Well, yeah, you hear stories.
I know. There's one thing. It's if you can't get if you can't get laid at Penzic, you can't get laid. That used to be the one thing. But and they would have these battles. And just like you're talking about, but now imagine hundreds and hundreds of people just beating with these Bafo, whatever they are, these foam swords. But there are rules.
Yeah, foam makes it sound like it wouldn't hurt.
But
it's reinforced foam.
Oh, yeah, it's really.
There might be a lead pipe in the middle.
That's I'm not sure, but they're wearing full on armor. It's hot as hell.
And most of them build their own costumes and stuff.
Oh yeah,
they're all great seamstresses.
Because it's the SCA, the Society for Creative Anachronisms. It's the same thing, and I still talk to some of my friends that are very involved, and I kind of just outgrew it. Not for, I love going to the Ren Fair, but my life kind of took me in other directions. But yeah, it's the same thing. But yeah, you were perfect. Yeah, for the king. Yeah. So Dave, do you have anything going on now? What? Because let's talk a little bit about your series, because you have.
I have a series.
Well, no, you're David with the penis. I can't remember what it's called. You're Statue of David.
I'm David with the penis. That's.
He is David with the penis.
Well, I would hope.
Never been referred to as David with the penis.
That's what I'm calling now. David with the penis, Murgittroyd. No, David, Statue of David. You know what I'm talking about.
Come on. Yes. So a very good friend of mine, Mike Licio, that Ari and I both went to college with. He has this this account on Instagram that's called Very Serious Time,
Yes,
where he releases a 1-minute sketch I believe it's every Tuesday or Wednesday, because content is coming in so many different forms now.
Yeah.
So he's basically created like a small sketch comedy thing, and I've been involved with a couple of them. He's had me. I think I've written 1 or 2 of them, and then I've been in like a handful of them as well. We just shot another one. They just released one this past week. That's Ari and Mike doing this whole thing about like how the whole business has become self-tapes now. No one even goes in and auditions places.
Yeah.
You tape yourself and send it on.
I
in.
saw that one. I did see that one. Okay.
So that was their newest one. Yeah, so that's like every once in a while Mike will reach out to me and be like, hey, I have 1 or 2 that I think you're right for, so we'll get together and shoot a couple in a day. And it's like, it's laid back, but like we have a blast doing it, and it's it's good to keep yourself out there in as many places. Yeah, keep yourself out there, and and the writing of it is fun too, and it has parameters of like, we got to keep this under a minute. So, and no matter what, as short as you write something, it doesn't matter. It's always over a minute. Every time he's like, we had to cut stuff out, and you're like, you never realize like how quick a minute is.
It's the truth.
But it keeps it keeps people's attention, because no one wants to watch anything. If it's not a full length feature film, people are like, it's either 1 minute or an hour-and-a-half movie,
especially on their computer
in between.
No, especially on their computer. Like people are not going to sit and watch like a half-hour web series on their computer, but they'll watch like 7 minutes maybe, and that's even pushing it.
Well,
and that's if it's
promos.
Very well done and things like that. Like Sorry Ari, which is like so well produced and like always so well done. Like that's still like the top of like the length. And every time like he'll send me the episodes before he lets them go, and he's like, this is about the longest I can make this that people will still pay attention. I'm like, it held me the whole day. Yeah, he works his ass off.
It's amazing. I mean, just how the editing and everything, bringing it together.
Yeah.
So someone asked a question here. Bruce Dela Cruz.
Hey, Bruce.
He said, "Hey, ask him if he grows his own hair."
This is actually a wig. It's attached to the hat. I do grow my own hair. Yeah.
When I met Dave, you didn't have long hair. You had the curls, obviously.
I wanted to ask about your hair, because I remember, so we were talking about the combined auditions before we went on the air, and I remember seeing you when you look at his headshot, you do notice the long hair. So how long have you had long hair?
It's been probably like a little over 3 years now. It was kind of getting to the point, like the past couple of years I've spent really just sort of figuring out professionally, like how to market yourself. You're branding yourself, because until you're really like a well-established high-tier, casting directors are going to see you as they see you as you come in the room. So it does pigeonhole me like to some extent. I only play these types of roles, but there's less competition. There's I went on auditions for 6 or 7 years where it was tall, blonde, Irish guy, tall, white, blonde, Irish guy with light eyes. And I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, that's me. And I get in, and I'm like, oh, that's right, there's 8 million of us. And it's, I think it kind of fits my type a little bit more. It's a little more of like a laid-back nature. So it was something I did for a while. And at first I did it with like a bushy beard, too. I went for both. And then I actually didn't shave until when I found out I was going to do hair, and I was like, how old is Berger? Oh, 19? Okay, yeah, sure. Let's go ahead and shave my body and shave my face. And
let's talk about hair. Do you know Dave wore a loincloth in hair?
Oh, yeah.
He literally, like was that for the whole opening? Or was it just for when? I'm trying to remember. No, it was after the opening.
Yeah, in my opening monologue, I did a bit about taking like all the different forms of burger you can refer to me as, and one of them was take 'em off burger. So I ripped my pants off.
That's right.
A
thong, loin cloth.
So how did you feel about that? David with the penis.
David with the penis felt. Honestly, it was like day one. Dan Vissers, our director, basically let me know kind of day one. He's like, just so you know, you're going to be in like an open shirt and, basically a thong for a few minutes of the show. And I was like, okay, I'm going to stop eating now.
You're like, I'm going to go to the gym.
Peanut butter, because you're like me with the peanut butter.
I have a tattoo of it on my body. He's
a peanut butter fanatic. I am too.
Yeah, I can't. I don't know what I lost. I probably lost like 15 pounds to do the show. I was at the gym twice a day. I was not eating like anything. It was probably an unhealthy way to go about doing it. But I did realize at least like, okay, you know, the next time I book something, I know what it takes to get into.
Well,
and by the time the show opened, I was like, I feel comfortable with my body. You know, I'm not man, I'm ripped, but I was like, I feel okay, you know, running around like this.
And Burger was a dream role for you, right?
Oh yeah. That was I didn't even like. I've known the music for so long, but I had seen a production of it when I was like 17, and then I saw one a couple years ago, but I think I was pretty high for it because it was hair, you know. Actually getting to like tackle it was that was definitely.
And Jerome Ragney just passed away.
Yeah.
Oh, not Jerome Ragney.
No,
I'm sorry, he's been gone.
Who wrote the music?
We're all gonna forget his name.
Galt McDermott.
Yes, there you go.
Sorry, Jerome Ragney
wrote the music.
I was like, one of us has got to be able to pull this name out right now.
But
so, is there any like other dream roles out there that you're looking to play? Hoping to play?
Oh God! In terms of theater, I don't know. It's kind of like every time you see something new, you're like, oh, I want to play that role.
Right? Yeah.
I don't really have like a. I would really love to play Frank in Merrily Roll Along, but now that my hair is so long, I'd have to cut all of it off for that. That's a definite. You know, I don't know how many years I have left on that role. It's like it's literally become like now it's like, oh, how many more years do I have?
Celia,
Can I play down the 20 years?
Celia Keenan Bolger, who's playing Scout in To Kill a Mockingbird, and she's like my age or like young. So I mean, and she's playing a 12-year-old. So I feel like the thing with theater, and I'm not in film enough to even have a say this is correct. I feel like with theater you can get away with like a little bit more than like on camera, right?
For sure. Yeah, and it was really funny. I was talking to someone about this at an audition the other day where like when I was like late teens, like in college, it seemed like every TV show had like people in their 30s playing like high schoolers and things like that.
90210.
And then I was like, all right, so that's going to happen when I get older. And then I get older and I'm like, and now we got these real 16-year-olds playing 16-year-olds.
I'm
like, come on.
Look at Grease, the movie. John Travolta, Stalker.
But you know what? It makes sense though, because like 90210, like I was a huge fan. And like you looked at that cast and they were all really hot.
Yeah.
Right? And then they did like the reboot of it, and I'm like,
they all felt young.
Because they were young. They were the actual, they were like, and I'm like, no.
Well, Gabrielle Cardieres, is that her name?
Well, she was like, what, 40 or something?
But she's actually, I think, is she still the SAG president? Or she's something with SAG?
Yes.
She has this big thing with not putting ages. Like she had, because she was so pigeonhole, like from the beginning everyone's like, well, she was like the oldest one, and I guess maybe she felt like she didn't get roles because of it. So she's an advocate for that you shouldn't have to have your ages on IMDb or
I think it's optional.
I don't know, but she was like a big advocate for like the no age thing because
people don't know how old you're as old as you read, you know.
Well, exactly. I hate to sound so cliche, you're as old as you feel. Like I'm 43 and I'm kind of like whatever, I'm 43 because I think I look good for a woman that's had 3 kids and that's 43 but I'm not gonna but I just played like a 29-year-old in like the last, but I don't think it was like I don't think people would say you saw it. You saw it. Did I look like you like I was who I was, right? But 90210, Grease, everything from the 80s and the 90s, everyone was older. Like when you watch the movie Grease, I'm like, but it's not even what they look, it's how they carry themselves in that movie. I'm like, 16-year-olds do not carry themselves. I mean,
come on, Stockard Channing as Rizzo, like
I know.
But now that you watch it, I mean, when you saw it the first time, you're like, and then now when you watch it, you're like, that woman's like 40 years old. I mean, even the way she sounds and carries herself.
So Dave also played McMurphy in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, which is a great role.
Yeah, that was a bucket list role for sure.
Yeah,
it was weird because I went from those were the 2 shows that I've done with Pioneer, and one where McMurphy, I was like, I'm probably a little young for this, but I think I can handle it. And then Burger, I was like, I'm probably a little old for this, but I think I can. But yeah, McMurphy was yeah, that was a lot.
It was what, one weekend?
Yeah,
but
it was one
he really
weekend,
carries. I mean,
it was a lot to learn for one weekend. I wish we had another weekend or 6.
Well, okay, so here,
it was, it's what it was.
So Dave and I, we were saying how we were here in the summer. I was, getting him caught up for Burger, teaching him choreography, and then he had to learn lines and music. What is your method in memorizing? Like, what do you do as an actor to really get solid on lines, on choreo?
For me, I would say running it, getting it, doing it with blocking. Like it all becomes like sense memory. It's when you're in the space and you're doing it over and over again, it becomes it's part of the physicality. I think I can sit down and read something 100 times and have no idea what I just read.
Right.
But once I do it, I'm like, okay, let's just run it again, and then honestly, it's like you don't even realize that you've learned it. Like, I mean, still, you got to go back, obviously, like after you finish a rehearsal and be like, okay, now what did I mess up? What do I have to look back over and things like that? But yeah, for me, it involves the physical side of it to learn it.
And I love that you mentioned sense memory, because I always teach my kids, my students, about muscle memory. You need to rehearse every day, because then it becomes, part of you, and you don't even realize that you're doing it. I had a director, I think I've said before, who said memorize your lines till you forget them, which is what I do. So I'll memorize, and I actually have a better memory than I give myself credit for.
You're just quoting Waiting for Guffman right now, right?
Yeah. Oh, am I?
Yeah, that whole scene where he's like, well, you rehearse it, and then you forget about it, and he's like,
oh, that's
well,
right.
they've already forgotten about it. He's like, yes, but they never learned it.
Yeah.
right.
No, because you came in a little bit later than the rest of the team.
Yeah.
And the thing with hair is there are so many numbers.
Right.
In that show.
Yeah.
Like, I think I choreographed how many songs are in the show? Like 50. I mean, it feels like 50. A lot. I mean, a lot of big group numbers. So you had to learn.
Yeah,
what they had already learned.
It's definitely possible that I might not have learned every chorus word.
So you just mouth the words?
Maybe. No, I did as best as I possibly could, but there's that whole where we're running around the theater with the picket signs.
Oh, yeah.
And I literally was like, no way. I remember telling Dan, I was like, I'm going to be off on the side on this part. That was because there's just too many other things to learn at this moment.
For Burger, because I feel like for me, Burger's character would remove himself and bring him when he felt like he wanted to be part of the tribe. I think that's kind of his MO.
Oh yeah, his thing was he can just do whatever he wants.
Do whatever.
I also feel like everybody does that. Even when I recently did a holiday show, and there was moments that it was a big number, and I would turn my back to the audience and I would just stop singing because I'm literally I need to breathe right now, so I'm gonna just stop singing. Or you're just
save yourself.
Well,
let everyone else sing.
I don't know if I should admit this, but my girlfriend still throws this in my face. When I was in high school, if I didn't like a choir song we were singing, I wouldn't sing it. Not horrible. I would just mouth the words. I don't like this song. So
that's why, I envy. Well, I respect, theater in the round, because when you're doing a show in the round and you have all the audience around you, I feel like you are just exposed. You can't get away from anything.
It's the truth.
Yeah.
So, Dave, this is a question that we ask a lot of our guests who do film and TV. I don't want to say which one do you like better.
Okay.
But which one do you like better?
Film or TV, or film or TV or theater?
I'm sorry, film or TV or theater. That's what I meant.
Whichever one you're not doing at the time.
Yeah.
It really it's when you're working on, there's the, which is actually what I give the most credit to Dan's production of Hair, was that any time that I've seen it before, it feels like it's just all right, let's fly through the scenes and then just make a big, showy, dancey, singy, which is a lot of what it is, but I think he tried to bring a lot more of a rawness and realness
depth
to the characters. Yeah. So you understood what each character was going through, rather than just okay, here's a couple bullshit words and now we're going to sing the Dawning of Aquarius.
Yeah.
And so I do like that aspect of working on indie film and stuff like that, of the realness of it, but I wish I could give a definitive answer, but in typical me form, I don't have a definitive. It's because there's nothing like live theater. That's the thing.
But I love how you say whatever you're working on at that moment, because I would think too, like when you're working on a project, you want to be, hopefully you're enjoying it. You want to be invested and really throw yourself into it. So.
Yeah. You are, but it is also crazy, like how much, even while you're working on it, you're also like, okay, what is it? I mean, as a performer, you're like, what is the next thing I'm going to be working on?
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, I like performing on film and stuff, but there's something about being in front of a live audience that like it ups the stakes on everything, you know, because everything's you can't cut, you know. You got to roll with anything that happens, which is always fun and trying to be spontaneous. And
but did you go to school? So you're a Montclair State alum.
Yes.
And were you musical theater program there? Did they have musical theater there?
It was not the I think it became a major while I was there. I had a BFA in acting with a minor in musical theater. So I kept the practical side of things. You know, in case acting didn't work out, I wanted to make sure that I could fall back on musical theater.
Yes, because you know,
that I had a plan B.
But you know what? But here's my thing. I never had a plan B because I said, no, I'm going to do this. And if I have a plan B, like if I say I'm going to get my acting degree, but then I'm going to fall back on nursing, guess what I would be right now? A nurse. Because you naturally will go to the fallback. So I always tell my students, I said, don't tell your parents I'm saying this, but don't have a fallback. If you want to do showbiz, you need to invest 100%. You know, and this is the way I make my living, is I choreograph, I direct, I teach, sometimes I act. I mean, just depends on what, you know, what the gig is, but I never had that fallback. Did you have a fallback?
No, I was theater and music.
And you,
that's it.
So it's like the same thing.
I mean, I have, like, I wish I could say that I don't make, you know, money from side jobs as well. Obviously, you have to, you've got to, you know, because I'm married, we have a house, like, so it's, you know, if things go the way the last 3 months went, you know, I can, exactly.
Right.
Knock on wood. Well, you know what? You got to put it out in the universe.
Exactly.
But here's my thing, because I'm very big into manifesting.
I know.
And the law of attraction.
I know.
And you have
hang out with my wife.
You know, but I do want to talk about her in 1 second, about her business. But if you just say, I'm going to do this, because that, like, I literally wake up every day, and I'm not kidding. I'm like, I'm awesome. I'm amazing. I got this. It's not that I'm bragging. It's that I'm putting that out into the universe. And I believe it. There was this one commercial that's like, do you feel sad or this and that? I remember I looked at my husband. I was like, no. I'm like, I don't feel that way at all. I'm going to get everything I want. I've gotten everything I wanted. It's, you know, I'm learning patience. And I don't know. I've shifted my lifestyle. That's with people that I allow in my life, and it makes a difference. Now, your wife and I want to, because you're wearing a shirt, so I want to talk a little bit about.
I'm always repping.
I know you are. I just
want to say real quick though about the falling back thing too. Though I mean, like, I almost feel like the fallback could be essentially the journey you take, kind of thing.
Well, if that's what you're meant to be,
right? I mean, like, I never thought I would teach at all.
But you're still doing theater 100%.
Well, I didn't even think I would be like a teaching artist.
Right,
and it was just, that was the opportunities that presented itself after. I mean, we both do marketing. I mean, did you ever think you were going to be doing marketing?
I never thought I'd be doing marketing.
So it's like, you know, so sometimes folks go to school and have that fallback, and others are like, you know what, I'm going to try the acting thing. And then all of a sudden you take these like little... These like little...
Well, find related fields and things like that.
Because marketing for us is definitely related to...
totally.
Theater.
I mean, it's, you know, we're in the field.
Which actually now, I just got reminded by my phone here. So I'm going to be teaching a class with Pioneer Productions.
Get out!
What date?
Say it! Advertise!
I believe it's March 2nd?
Yes.
What are you going to be teaching?
On my phone. So this is actually something we had... I think so. Ari had done something along these lines. It's something we had talked about before in the past. So the title of the course is actually going to be the shit I wish I learned in college. And there's like a, you know, Dan, that was my title, and Dan came up with a smarter, you know, subtitle. That's like a working actor's guide to transitioning from college to the professional.
Right.
So it's basically just going to be like, as you know, as any of us, as like working actors, like there's not really a definite path to take, but there's a lot of just what different websites should I be on?
Right.
Like, where am I really looking for castings? How am I getting in the room
I've
for
called
auditions?
you. I've called you about this, haven't I?
And this is and it was something that I found, you know, like when we were doing hair, like some of the younger kids
they were
in the
younger,
cast would, they'd be like, you know, like, what's the deal with like joining equity, and like when you join equity, do you automatically have an agent, or and it's just like, and it's things that like, because I remember graduating college and been like, I'm ready to tackle this shit. Like I'm ready to work. I feel like I learned like all of the tools to like as an actor, as a performer. But then I get out there and I'm like, all right, let's rock these auditions. And I'm like, and how do I get those? Like, you can't just walk into TV auditions.
I remember when I joined the union, I was like, yay, I get health insurance. Nope. No, I mean, it doesn't work that way. You know, it's just, but it's crazy.
You do, as long as you work 800 weeks a year.
Well, I remember,
and then you get only a certain amount of health insurance.
Well, I texted Dave at one point. I was like, hey, how do I know if I'm replying to a real casting notice or if I'm going to get killed by a serial killer?
Or you're doing like some porno.
I do, yeah. I was like,
he's like, well,
where did it come from?
I know, because I'm like, it seems like really...
generally Craigslist, no.
So March 2nd, talk about let's give a little plug for Pioneer.
Shayna just commented March 2nd, and she put the link there.
Shauna.
I'm sorry, Shauna.
What's up, Shauna?
Shauna Phelps.
Yep, Shauna Levine. So it's March 2nd where?
It's going to be at the
Studio Montclair Operetta.
Okay. In Montclair on Valley Road. I'm literally just like reading what they wrote, even though... Oh, that's what they called it. Okay. The shit I wish they taught me in college, a working actor's crash course for the professional world. Well, all your questions will be answered? Let's get real, guys. Yes. Some of your questions might be answered.
Yes. There is a little secrets of the trade. No, but that's cool though. Yeah, I actually enjoy teaching.
Yeah, I'm figuring like it's something that's new for me, but it's more of just like, I'm not like, teaching a masterclass on how to be a professional actor. It's more just like, hey, I've been doing this for a while. These are some things that I've picked up along the years that maybe you don't, they're just things you don't even think about. It's like, I compared it to getting out of high school and knowing about mitochondria and not knowing how to do your taxes.
Right.
It's like, there are like specific things that you need to know, like, in order to do things. So.
Right.
Actually, that you say that, middle schools now, my daughter actually has 21st century skills as a class in our school, but they teach well, we go to a charter school, we go to so it's just, we're a public school, but we kind of stray. Actually, I'm going to Montclair State tomorrow to the Yogi Berra Museum for a field trip with the kids. But so...
They do dollar beers on Tuesdays.
Oh, there we go.
I mean, maybe not in the
I don't know. I don't know. But, I love that you said that, but you don't know, you may not have known how to balance a checkbook. Now, I mean, at this point, does anyone still write? I mean, I write checks occasionally, but, everything is online. But, all about something that you may never use. Not that it's not important, it just might not be in your who you are, but that's the truth. So you're just going to give them some tips, and he's always so great when I text him about something about mostly, I mean, theater. I know it's just film and TV, which I'm trying to get into.
If it's something I know about, because I and obviously I don't know, if I knew everything, I'd be working way more than I know now. But it's some things that I think can be very helpful, and just things that you wouldn't know to think about, and things that people might feel embarrassed to ask because they're like, oh, I feel like that's something I should know and I don't know the answer, so I'll just do whatever. And you're like, okay, well, here's just some pointers on maybe.
And just sharing those experiences, hey, this happened to me, and this is what I learned from it, or
I'm just going to tell them all to grow their hair out really, really long.
Just be like me, get a lot of tattoos. No big deal. So Dave's also a singer. Are you in a band?
Sure. No, I've actually, since...
Do you want to be in a band?
Well, I don't.
Why are you putting together a band?
I'm putting together bands. Yeah, no.
I can play the tambourine. No, I mean, I sang with Theater Rock for a couple years.
Yes, and I want to talk about that too.
Such a blast.
I know. Are they still around? They disbanded, right?
Oh yeah, I think it ran its course, unfortunately.
Yeah,
but it was fun while it lasted.
So we'll tell everyone what Theater Rock is or was.
So it was a full loud ass rock band, like really really talented band.
Yeah, musicians are great.
Where we covered Broadway songs, but only from rock musicals. So it spanned like everything from
that's
like
awesome.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ Superstar to Tommy to Hair to Next to Normal to Spring Awakening, Rent, Tarzan. You know, like it had like a little bit of like Aida. So many rock musicals.
Yes. Aida.
Yeah, and it was, you know, and we played a range of places from like the outdoor amphitheater at the Montville High School to BB King's. It was like, it was really wild. You never knew sort of what the next gig was going to be, but it was always exciting to get an email and be like, hey, we got to have a rehearsal because we're going to do a show somewhere. So it was kind of like a spontaneous,
And
like.
when I was at the Y, you guys played outdoors there.
Oh,
that one,
yeah.
remember? That was like, oh my gosh, that was.
They
like
put
so
us
long
right
ago.
behind the garbage.
Yeah, that's really
I will
rock and
always
roll.
remember
That is rock and roll, dude. Right
I remember
there.
we set up the mic, so like everything good, sounds good. I'm like, sounds good, smells like absolute
Yeah.
I was on Route 24 yesterday, and I was driving to rehearsal. I'm choreographing Bright Star, and I was like, it smells like a dead body. I was like, Route 24. I'm like,
Was
is
it the dead body you had in
It
the car?
couldn't be.
Probably was.
I got to
You see
get
on the
this
news.
thing out of my truck right now. So we were talking about rock musicals, and we were talking about American Idiot because some of our hair
Yeah.
tribe members, Robbie Stevens
I
was
hear it was-
Tunny, Nick, who was our Claude in
Yeah.
hair, was Will, and if you don't know the show, you don't know who the hell I'm talking about. And then Tori
And Tori, yeah.
was in the
Yeah.
ensemble. And did you guys do Green Day for theater? I don't think you did.
We
you?
did, at certain shows we did the title track. We did American
You did
Idiot.
American Idiot.
Yeah. And always got the round part messed up every time.
Oh, I want to be in a man. I want to be. Yeah.
So we were like standing there counting. You could literally see me being like 4, 5, 6, 7.
Your
And
head.
I want to be in a damn it. And I fucked it up every time.
I'm sorry. I never did row your boat. Yeah, so we were talking about American Idiot before you got here, and I was saying how we were sold out even before like the run started.
And you said you had like super fans from like
We
Montreal.
had people drove 6 hours from Montreal. They knew no one in the show. And now I'm friends with them all on Facebook. They all befriended me on Facebook. They loved the show. They went out with the cast after.
It's awesome.
They partied. I didn't go out with the cast. I very rarely go out with cast. You probably noticed that too for hair. I don't really go out. I go home.
Yeah.
I'm lame. And then
My rule was usually 1. I was like,
Yeah.
Oh, it's never one though.
well, I just teach me to go home.
I always say, all right, I'll go for
And
one
then
drink.
Philly, we have people from Philly, and
That's
they love the
awesome.
show. And we changed the show. Well, I didn't change it, but instead of doing the TVs, we did cell phones.
Okay.
Because that's our media now, is everything's on our cell phones.
Sure.
And actually, the one couple said, we love the whole cell phone. He's like, I love how you updated it. I said, well, it's, kind of timeless. But I was telling Dave, it was probably one of the hardest shows that I've ever directed because it's all subtext. The whole show, because like they're singing words, but I'm like, but that's not really what you're saying to each other. So what are you saying?
Right.
So, we need to think about like what is the conversation, because it is your job to be as clear to the audience. You never want to trick your audience. And I said, you might feel a certain way. I said, but that's self-indulgent sometimes. We are here for that. It is. I mean, to be like, I feel this way, but I'm watching. And this is not me picking on, this is just in general with any show I direct. I'm like, but I'm watching. So I get that you feel a certain way, but that's not translating.
Right.
And
No.
you don't keep your audience in the dark, because then no one wants to have to really, they don't mind thinking, but they don't want to have to think so much where they're figuring out this one moment and then they're missing this moment and then they're missing this next moment because they're still thinking, like they're a moment behind.
Right.
And these kids did a great, I hate to say kids,
That's awesome.
but they did an amazing
Yeah, I watched
job.
a bunch of the videos and stuff on it, and of Nick and Jesse. And they all
Your
everyone sounded
energy,
great.
they sound. I mean, the live videos are hard to really get a gauge
Sure.
on how, but they freaking nailed it. And these are people like, I'm coming from a woman that's in her 40s. I have so much life experience, and these are people that are like 18 to like 25, and
Right.
their journey is just kicking off, and they were just ass kickers. This show is going to be amazing, and the production values are amazing. We have moving lights.
Yeah.
So like the lights are like.
No, it looked
moving
really
all-
cool, the set and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, it was cool. But so yeah, I love the rock musicals. I tend to find that's the ones I want to direct.
Yeah.
Like I'm doing Bloody Bloody, Andrew Jackson this summer. I'm like so psyched. So what do you prefer when you're doing musical theater? Do you like the rock? Do you kind of love the Sondheim and the irony in that?
I love rock musical. Yeah, basically, if it's not a rock musical, I would like it to be Sondheim. Although, I mean, it's so funny because like I always talk about like Jason Robert Brown being contemporary musical theater. I'm like, but oh wait, it's not anymore. I'm like, I mean, it's still like contemporary-ish. I'm like, but there's all these like amazing new composers and things like that. But like to me, it's like, oh, Songs for a New World just came out a few years ago. I'm like, oh no, wait, it didn't. It came out like 15 years ago.
Well, I went out of high school. I mean, like the 90s are like what, like 30 years ago now? Wait, no, yeah. Like that's so weird.
Yeah, I mean, I always prefer. So that's why like Jason Robert Brown is because it's always very like I consider myself more an actor who sings, not a singer who acts. So I
prefer that, to be honest with you.
Because
so then Sondheim, I mean,
exactly. Like I've never felt like I'm just gonna like plant and
park and bark,
and people are gonna be like, wow. I'm like, I like when you're really conveying something is like where I feel my strongest.
But you know what?
He writes very actable.
I love that you said that. I'm an actor who can sing because you can't. He has a great voice, by the way. He has a great voice. So, with that being said, I would rather see an actor who can sing than someone just singing and riffing. After a while, that gets on my nerves. Yeah. If you're just like yelling at me and you don't have and one thing I teach too, and like you don't have to get loud to get my like the louding and like the loud and the growling and all that stuff. I'm like,
well, to me that's not. You're not an actor. If you're just gonna, like you're saying, just like stand there and sing. Okay, you're a singer.
Which is listen, and there's a time and a place, but in a show, I want an actor who sings well.
Yeah,
I would,
and especially in musical theater. Like I want both.
Yeah,
I want both. I want you to be able to act through that song.
Do you know that Jason Robert Brown has a residency in the city once a month at Subculture, and he brings in different Broadway artists, and they check it out. My cousin's actually gone. He's like, hey, I want to take you to Subculture. I just haven't had a chance to go. It's like it's generally during the week.
Okay.
But it's like an intimate. It's an intimate.
God, on weeknights anymore.
I know.
I'm old.
I know you're old.
Someone recently was like, "You want to come see my show? It's on a Wednesday." I was like, "No."
I want to be home. I can't wait to be home tonight. Actually, last night I didn't have a rehearsal. I had one in the afternoon, and I came home, pajamas on, cooked dinner. Nothing makes. I love vacuuming.
I went to bed at 9:00 last night.
Yeah, I lay in bed and I read.
We got a dog just so we could stop going places.
Yeah.
What kind of dog do you have?
She's a mix.
She's so cute.
I mean, I'm just going to show you photos.
Show us the picture. He's a dog daddy.
I like to go.
He's a dog daddy.
I like to go to shows during the week. Like I feel like I'm an old man where I'm like, I'll totally go to that matinee with all the old people.
Yes, me too. Or like, there's a matinee with this.
She's a retriever.
What's her name? What's her name?
A retriever mix. Her name is Maggie. She's specifically called a duck toller. I had never heard of that mix before, but I guess they used to.
Oh, because they used to toll to get rid of the ducks.
Used to get the ducks when you were hunting. So that's why she's so brutal on walks. Just got that nose down in the ground.
How old is she?
2.
And then when did you guys get her? It was like
we got her from St. Hubert's.
Yes,
in November.
I love St. Hubert's.
Yeah, because I remember when you. I want a dog, and
so does she pull when you walk her? Like that? She's
a little bit. Yeah. I mean, she's an amazing dog, but we have little moments where she just wants to smell everything. Like she's not like aggressively she just wants to smell.
I have a Jack Russell, so he's like that because they're all about hunting. Yep. He sees a squirrel, forget it. I'm like running. Yeah. I'm running with him up the freaking tree. You should watch me sometimes. It's very funny.
You should go live. So how has that having the dog changed you? Because it's like having a kid.
I mean, it's definitely we've gotten we have to figure out schedules more for sure. It's not just like we can be out for 8 hours at a time or 10 hours at a time.
But as a homeowner, don't you want to be home in your home?
Oh yeah, I don't want to go.
It's anywhere. It's like, why do you want to be?
Whenever
out?
people do you want to go out? I'm like, you want to come to my house?
Yeah.
And people hate that obviously, because.
But you just got this place, so it's like
you're paying for it. You want to enjoy your home. So we didn't. I wanted to actually give Jess a shout out because you do always talk about her on, which I love, on your Insta and on Facebook. Talk about Route 9 and then talk about Green City too.
Yeah. So. So Jess, she runs her own business called the Snacking Lab, which is like a snacking incubator, she calls it basically, and she runs a lot of brands like through there. One of which, the newest one, this is called Route 9 Baking Company, and I literally had to write down what the actual website was because I always get confused whether it's a 9 or it's spelled out 9, but it's ROOT, the number 9, baking.com. So Root, because it's all plant-based, they're all vegan chocolate chip cookies, and 9 because her original recipe had 9 flavors, or 9 ingredients in it. But they are, I try to not be biased. People are like, oh, you're biased. I'm like, it is the best cookie you're ever going to fucking eat in your life. I'm like,
why didn't you bring me one?
Because I'm an inconsiderate person. I completely forgot about it.
I'm like,
we love to eat on
we
the
love cookies.
I will bring them.
I know. I still want to get you in
I
our school because our school is vegetarian.
So they are. She makes her own butter.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Does she have is that her background in like, or is it just
she is actually a self-taught pastry chef. She worked like as a server throughout college and
how'd you guys meet?
In a lot of
we're gonna get personal.
How'd you meet? We met at a catering company,
right?
Where she was the pastry chef and I was a server and bartender and stuff like that. So we met at work. So she started as a server, and then the restaurant she was working at was like, I guess they were buying their desserts from somewhere else, and she was like, these should be authentic. Do you mind if I take a crack at like doing some desserts? And like in basically like no time.
That's awesome.
She's ridiculous. I mean, she also is just one of these people who she works like unbelievably hard. She comes home after 10, 11-hour work days, and I come home, I'm like, oh, what are you working on your computer? She's like, I'm just looking up new recipes and trying out new things and always making new awesome stuff to get you fat with. That's why like in the summer when we were doing hair, we have her other company is Green City Pops, which is an all natural fresh fruit ice pop company. So it's so I lived off ice pops, and then the weather got colder, and now I live off cookies. So
oh my god!
Gained all the weight back that I lost for hair. Because I'm like, I have to taste them.
Of course,
you gotta be. Totally.
Your house was always smelled so yummy.
It's absurd.
I love that. I'm not a good baker. I'm not. It's very sciencey. I'm a good cook.
It is very sciencey. Yeah.
We've talked about this, and it's just like, for cooking, I'm like, I do a little bit of this.
Yeah,
I can make something out of nothing. But baking, I'm like, oh god. Or like, I mean, not that
it's got to look pretty.
I know.
And, I mean, it's just like food. Could, you kind of just.
Yeah, but he's
these
always.
Things are they're game changers. But it's really exciting. It's really starting to like take off places. She's in a bunch of places in the city now, at Brooklyn Roasters, at a coffee shop at like 5 or 6 different locations.
I want to I want to introduce you to my friend Frankie, if you're listening, at Boot and Coffee.
Hey Frank, let's talk.
Yeah, next time, like seriously, I'll bring you guys in when I know he's there.
Cool. So are her companies on Instagram? And
yes.
So give us the handles.
Route 9 Baking. I just literally get confused whether it's spelled out the word 9 or. Yeah, so this one is actually all spelled out. Route 9 Baking Co. Okay. ROOT 9 Baking Co. And then Green City Pops is all one word. And then you don't get her personal Instagram.
That's it. No personal.
I was like, how many accounts do you have now? She's like, I don't know, too many. I have to run all of them.
I know. Well, you could like link them, can't you?
Yeah,
like,
you do. And then you just go back and forth.
Them.
Yeah.
So what do you do for fun, Dave? What does Dave do? David with the penis,
Self-care.
Murgittroyd, do for self-care?
For self-care? I don't know.
Like, do you like softball? Do you like bowling?
I mean, I would say going to the gym, but I've just been the worst recently.
I know. I said I just started going
on it for so long.
And you've been pretty good with it.
Mm-hmm.
I watch some sports here and there.
Yeah.
I like to play with my dog.
I was going to say, now that you have a dog,
I have
that's
a dog,
like
so that's a lot of the time at home is spent like. She loves playing fetch, which is the best because I was like, if we have a dog, she better like to chase things.
Yeah, really.
So we go out in our backyard, and it's like we got like these glow-in-the-dark balls, so I'll stand out there for half an hour with her, and she'll just go nuts. And I try to. Jess is always so busy with work, so a lot of like weekends and stuff we'll have kind of live events and vegan events and things like that. So I try to help out as much as I can. I can't cook the stuff.
No, but it's fun because then
because
you're supporting her, and then you're spending time with her.
Yeah,
You guys
and
are together,
and it's something that I don't know a lot about that world, so I've always, try to learn more about it and stuff like that.
No, you're good. You're good.
You got to get. I don't know if you've seen it. They have so Nerf makes dog toys, and they have this like.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, wait,
it's like this
what?
ball blaster, and you put like tennis balls in, and you shoot it, and it like literally goes.
Love that.
Like
He's going
50
there right
feet.
now.
I have
Look
one.
at it. Do you have to order
I'm going
online?
to KB Toys.
Yeah, that's still exists.
Oh God, no! Right next
No,
to
I
Sam
got it on
Goody.
Amazon.
Right next to Sam Goody.
But
and
this thing is
FYE.
like ridiculous, and you have to like kind of like cock it back, and you're just like you just feel like a badass,
awesome.
and you just and my dog starts going crazy, and you just shoot it, and you know
you honestly, his dog. How many followers does your dog have on Instagram now?
I think he's got like 7,000 followers.
No, his dog is insane.
Yeah,
You gotta do it. Wait, what's your dog's name?
Maggie.
Maggie.
I'm telling you, people love.
People love dogs.
And videos and stuff
You need
like
to get Maggie
I
an Insta.
know. We
do it.
almost had her. Oh, get her own Instagram.
Get her own Insta. Jess, what's one more?
Yeah, right.
That's the thing is that
It's crazy though because I feel like
because I'm terrible at it. I'm terrible at all of it.
I would be if I didn't have to be up on it for like the businesses that
And
I
you
want to
know something?
it.
Like
And
I'm
even
not.
still, I'm
I'm not
behind.
as. That's like one of my 2019. I need to do more of it.
Me too.
Because
Me
all of a
too.
sudden, it's so funny because all of a sudden you start getting messages from companies and they're like, "Hey, can we send you something?" And I'm like, "Okay."
I have this
Yeah.
just like I don't know why it like. Yeah, this is what I do in my free time is when I know that someone has responded to an acting post that's obviously a bot.
Yeah.
I for some reason always feel that I need to engage with these things.
Yeah.
Like someone I wrote something recently and they were like hit me up for more followers or whatever, and like I just feel the need to write back like, no bro, you hit me up
yes!
for more followers.
I get that too.
Like,
They're
all
like,
the time.
They're
Yeah,
like,
I'm like, I
hey,
get
we're
it.
waiting for you. DM me. I'm like, no,
Yeah,
bitch, you
DM
DM
me.
me. If you want me to be wearing your freaking clothes, you DM me.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Like,
I'm
so
not
I
DMing
can
you.
ignore you.
Or the best is when they're
basically.
like, they'll contact me, to promote stuff for
Right.
them, but they'll be like, "Here's a discount code." I was like, "Fuck you and your discount code."
give me shit for free,
Like, if
bitch.
you want me to
I
like
know.
promote your product, you're gonna send it to me for free.
Oh, it's so funny. Well, because you know why? Because if you get more than I think 10 likes in like an hour, then Instagram will put you in their like people you should follow.
all algorithms.
Yeah, it's all algorithm.
It's all algorithms. Yeah.
So I've been
Facebook.
trying to work the algorithm, and I hate that we live in a world where it is all about likes and stuff. I mean, this is the world we live in. So I don't care about me personally, but if I'm promoting a show,
But you know what? That's what I
or-
did in the beginning when I set up his Facebook, his Instagram. I was putting in all those stupid hashtags: follows for follows, likes for likes, whatever, and that's how it picked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it was like,
Well, you know what? You can Google the top hashtag,
Yeah,
like
the top
love.
hashtags.
Love is like. So I'll do like the hashtag love. I mean, I
or
hate-
tagging so many. If you tag so many different.
Isn't this ridiculous? Did we ever think that
I
when we
always
were
like
in high
I
school?
always hashtag like Hulk Hogan and like things that like people are gonna.
I'm trying to not hashtag as much, but then, like I said, if it's like a picture of me doing whatever, I don't care. But if I'm trying to promote something, I want.
I
to
like
get the
using
note, you know?
hashtags more as a way of,
Like
not like a way of.
witty?
Well, it's like I don't know. I'm so freaking tired. Hashtag like hungover. I don't know.
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
but,
yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
but something
something
like
that's
using it
related.
as like a way of
Yeah.
like a way of
Like
getting a
ha-
point across. Yeah.
like-
Oh, just hashtag vegan on things. You'll get followers. They'll all be vegan.
Oh, I
followers.
bet.
Oh,
but-
yeah, really.
Yeah.
But it's like, I'm thinking like we're talking about like for a like, follow for follow. I never thought in 1994 when I was like in senior in high school that this is what I would be talking about is social media. But
Or
I've
like or
been
Yeah,
or
I
like
used
or
to-
follow.
I used to sit with my best childhood friend who also was named Dave, and we would sit in chat rooms on AOL.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
oh my
When you would
yes!
if you would hold down Alt and then press S twice, it would sign you out of AOL.
Right.
So we would like pick a cool font and then write in it and be like, "Hey, if anybody else wants to try this cool font, you just got to hold Alt and then press SS," and then we would just sit and watch like 40
Watch
people
everybody
drop
go
out
out.
of the
Oh
room.
my
And that was what,
God.
And that was our fun.
Or if you had like the sound on, you'd hear that damn door closing.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
yes. Oh my
Literally,
God,
like
yes.
we would sit there, we'd be like, "Let's watch them drop like flies."
Oh my-
we would just hear the door slam over and over and over. again.
my-
I mean, could you
Do you
imagine
remember
if they
the
still
New
had
Jersey-
chat rooms?
We were
now
really
with
cool.
Just like the way that the world
I know
is?
people that met their spouses in chat rooms.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I guess it's no different than, and how about even like online? I mean, I'm not obviously online dating, but I have friends that are in the online dating scene, and it's like shopping. Like, yeah, I don't want that one. Like, swipe it.
yeah, swipe.
It's crazy. It's
Yeah.
so.
It's stupid.
It's well, I mean, but how else? Because I've actually been pulling myself offline. Because I found that I was on it way too much,
Yeah, it's too
and
much.
it's too much, and it's any of us can get easily sucked in. You read one article and then you're in a conversation. And I have to say, I have been feeling so much better. Like, I'm missing a lot. So, like, if I don't wish you happy birthday, it's not that I don't. I'm just not on.
No, you're not thinking about them.
I'm not. I'm not.
You want to know something? I'm
You and
really
your
bad
birthday.
with that. I'm really bad with the birthday thing, unless like I really know it's someone's birthday, and then I go into that birthday area, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh shit! So I start saying happy birthday to everybody, and then I see like belated birthdays.
Yeah, birthdays you've missed. I'm like,
Yeah.
Oh crap! And you're like, forget it.
I'm like, how about all of them? I've missed every
Right?
Except for my own. You better wish me happy birthday. No.
I don't even like write to my brother on Facebook for his birthday.
But
I'm
some
like,
people
God
are
forbid
like
I give him a
hardcore
call.
with that.
Yeah, you're like, I'm just going to call you. And this year I've been doing more. I think I said like my New Year's resolution, like 2018 was tragic and beautiful. I mean, it really was. I mean, like every year there's going to be loss and gain. But like really, like I've been reading actual books, like actual turning pages to books. I've been really nurturing relationships.
Pages to books. Wow.
Like laying in bed at night. This is me. Laying in bed with my chamomile tea. I'm not kidding. And I have my book, and my husband's watching TV. It's so cliche. So cliche. My kids are sleeping. My lamp's on. Then I turn and go into bed. He's still watching TV. I don't drink during the week. That's my rule. Because then I feel like I can't get up and... Not that I'm a big drinker.
Yeah, you can't.
I just feel like I'm grouchy. Like I'm tired the next day, and then my kids are, and then they have a grouchy mom, and that's
Even
not
if you have
fun.
like one glass of wine or something.
If it's Wednesday, I will.
Why
That was so specific. You're like, I never do it. Okay, every Wednesday.
On Wednesday, you see her. She's
Actually,
like,
you
drunk.
gave me a beautiful bottle of wine. I haven't cracked that open yet. I'm saving that one for hair. A really nice bottle of red. Actually, I'm kind of hoping.
A really nice $7.99.
Listen, I don't care.
sometimes those are
I
the
don't know what
best.
it was. I don't know what it was.
No, but I'm hoping.
Oh yeah, I bought everybody it was
the
called
love
like
wine.
love.
Yeah,
love wine or
I'm
something.
kind
It
of
was
saving.
hair,
Of course. Listen, I'll take free alcohol. No, but I just because I go to the gym during the week and I have to get up. I'm up at 6:30, and occasionally I'll have like a glass of wine if I know I don't have anything major to do. But if I'm rehearsing all week, I'm like
drink
clear.
One glass of wine.
Well-
If I open a bottle of wine, it is getting finished.
Well, that's how I am with Prosecco. And I used your bottle thing, by the way. He got
good,
me.
good.
He knows I love Prosecco, and he got me a champagne cork.
Yeah.
So it kind of seals it in.
They're
But I
great.
literally used it
Yeah.
like that night, and then the bottle was gone.
Yeah.
I went to the liquor store.
We use the term splash in our house. That's literally how we refer to like we'll have dinner. I'll be like, you want a little splash? You're like, a little splash.
Well, that's like when people are like,
gulp.
but that's like when you do a
Well, now there's
show.
only a quarter left. We might as well finish it.
Yeah. But it's like when you do a show and they're like, oh, come out for one drink. And I'm like, it's never one drink.
No, I know.
Never is.
Well, I used to get shitty. I'm not gonna. I used to get shit faced. I mean, listen, but I just I've changed a lot. I've changed my lifestyle a lot. Even eating habits. Watching even though I did have a cookie today. You should have brought me one of your cookies
Our cookie
because I
would have been
can't
better.
resist chocolate chip. What?
I said Jess's cookie would have been better.
Now, did she use chocolate or carob?
It's dark chocolate.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
You know why I started eating dark chocolate? Because no one else in my family liked it, and then I wasn't going to have to share.
And she's actually
I love dark chocolate though.
she's starting now because
I love it.
having 1,000 things to do is not enough for her. So now she's going to start making her own chocolate.
Oh my
so that's coming within the next couple.
Does
of
she make
weeks.
dog treats?
But
Ooh, yes, that's Jess. Is she listening?
that's a good question.
She
I
should.
hope she's listening. She
She's messed
should.
around with it before. With ice pop, she did it a little bit, but literally there was nothing different. They were just shorter because they were just
Yeah.
ice pops, and
Yeah.
she used like
She
no
should
artificial
do.
anything. Yeah, that's like it's crazy because we're always like, oh, this would be a good thing for you to do. This would be a good thing, but it's like she's like so slammed with like the stuff that she already has, but she's always churning out new ideas
Because she has an entrepreneurial
and-
brain. That
Yeah,
just is always
yeah. I mean,
kind of
that's
like,
always been her thing of like, I'm gonna be running my own business. Like,
But that's why I think you guys are a good match, though. Don't you? Not that you don't have that, but I think like you support her, she supports you, and when you're like have to fly to Chicago overnight, it seems like you guys have a good.
yeah, I mean, that was what it was. I told you that I did something else
Yes!
new that I was going to tell you about.
Yes, and you were hiding
it. Yeah. Well, because it's always one of these things like I'm not sure what I'm allowed to talk about like when you shoot something.
Right.
But there's a show. It's on IMDb, so I assume it's fine. There's a show coming out called What We Do in the Shadows, which there was actually a film of this a couple of years ago in 2014 with the guy Jermaine from Flight of the Conchords.
Oh my gosh.
Really funny. It's a vampire movie comedy where basically this group of vampires living in current day is followed around by like a documentary film crew, like to follow them through their everyday lives. So they decided to turn it into a series, and it's going to be on FX, and I will be in episode 7.
That's awesome.
So it starts.
Are you a vampire? Can you not tell us? All right. That's okay. We gotta watch it. We want to watch it.
But like, it's funny because I'm actually like, I'm excited for episode 7, but like, I'm actually genuinely excited to watch the show because once I booked the role, I was like, oh, let's check out this movie, see what it's about, and I've watched it like 3 times since because it's so funny.
That's awesome.
The style of humor is really, really good. And so that was fun. I got to spend a weekend in Toronto and
that's awesome.
Oh, that's awesome.
Cool.
Canada's beautiful.
Yeah.
What are you watching? Anything on TV? I don't even know how to turn on our TV, by the way.
Yeah, I saw that post. I didn't comment.
I literally am like, okay, because we have a Fire Stick, we don't have cable anymore, so we have all these other crazy things.
Sure.
So Todd's like, I'm not gonna be home, and I'm like, okay, how do I turn on the TV?
You're like, I just want to watch.
And I change the channel.
What do I watch? I don't watch anything.
Yeah, I know. I don't. No, I'm literally whatever Todd watches.
Well, you don't know how to turn on the TV, so.
I watched The Office for the 50,000th time.
Yeah.
I did. This is okay. So on Netflix, there's this series called American Vandal.
Ooh.
You think that? But season 1 is literally the tagline of season 1 is "Who drew the dicks?" So it's this like they take this. It's a mockumentary show about always like the most absurd things possible. It's like this high school kid who like graffitied all the teachers' cars in the parking lots by spray painting dicks on them.
Oh man.
So, but what makes the show, like, it just sounds like, oh, it's going to be a lot of poop humor, and it is, but it's like it's taken so seriously that like that style of humor to me is priceless. And the actors on it, they're all like these like teenage kids, and they're so good.
Because they're playing it for truth. Don't we always say that?
Yeah.
If you believe it,
and that's
don't
what
make it
makes
silly.
things funny is when you don't play comedy, you play it seriously.
You play it seriously.
The seriousness of it is what makes it so funny.
Well, because I'm doing We Will Rock You, and it's the area premiere of We Will Rock You, and the script is campy. I mean, it takes place in this post-apocalyptic world where everyone's on their iPads and there's no music. But the writing is really campy. But if you make it real, kind of like Anchorman. If he played that for the joke, but he's really believing, and that's why that movie is so funny. Or I referenced my favorite ever Yo Gabba Gabba, I Have Children, where Jack Black was on, and he was so committed and so serious. I mean, you know what I mean? I love him. That he was so serious about it that it's freaking hilarious. But if you try, I always say, don't try and make people laugh because they won't laugh. If you try and make them laugh and try and be, there's funny and silly are 2 different things.
Yeah.
So wait, what's the name of that? I'll have to check it out. What's it called? American Vandal? No.
American Vandal.
Oh man, that sounds great.
Yeah. I mean, I try not to like recommend things to people because I'm like, I'm never sure if you're gonna like this. Like specific friends, I recommend that show too.
Right.
Have you seen Happy? Which is very dark and twisted.
No, that's Chris Maloney, right?
Yeah, it's really good.
I just started watching the first episode of it. Actually, I got like halfway through. We did watch this Bill Murray documentary the other night that was all about his like the lore, the folklore that is Bill Murray of like have these run-ins actually happened of like the story of like where he comes up and gives you a noogie on the street and he tells you like no one's ever gonna believe you. So this is like a thing, like all these random stories about Bill Murray, like him busting into a college party and going and like doing the dishes for them at their party, like all these crazy stories that like seem so unbelievable. And like the documentary itself is like fine, but it's really interesting to watch. Yeah. And like they don't even talk to Bill Murray, they just talk to the people who the stories actually happened to. And it's really, really cool. Just like him trying to give people experiences, because it's never like him coming into the room to be the center of attention. It's always like him, he knows that he's this status, Right. So he's able to go in and sit in with a band and play tambourine, and like that's not for like he's having a good time, but it's like for the other people, like they're like, holy shit, I just played music with Bill Murray. And like, they're going to remember that moment like the rest of their lives, you know?
I would love
It's
to.
so cool.
I love Bill Murray is in Zombieland.
In Zombieland, yeah, they brought that up.
But that's even like, that's so perfect because that
it's
seems like
very
who he
up his-
is.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And I do love that movie. So I want to talk to Dave a little bit about his last name because I literally love his last name. And Kate who was in here before us was talking to you. You're the only, obviously your family, but you're the only Murgittroyd. I swear that I've never heard that name and at first I was like, is this really his last name? Because we all know that's Heavens to
The Heavens to
Murgittroyd.
Murgittroyd thing, yeah.
So can you talk a little bit about your last name, where it comes from, what it means, because it's fabulous.
So at least like as we were Kate was her name, right?
Kate, yep.
Yeah, we were talking about like the etymology of it a little bit, and apparently it's Welsh. I've looked up a lot of different things, and you know, English, Welsh, Scottish, like all somewhere in that.
Yeah.
But one of the possible meanings that I had read about was Murgittroyd is moor get road, meaning the road leading to the moor, like a swampy marshland.
Right.
And it is a possibility that that's where Heavens to Murgittroyd comes from, because in most swamp areas will have like this beautiful area of flowers like around it, which will be referred to as the heavens occasionally. So I've literally read things like that, and then I've literally read things like, yeah, the people who made Snagglepuss did a lot of acid, and they probably had a friend named, like, Nick Murgittroyd or something, and they put in the Heavens to Murgittroyd, and that was, like, how they put in, and, like, that's how it came to be, you know? So it's, like, it's, like, those two very opposite ends of the spectrum, that it's either, like, this really nice, beautiful meeting, or it's, like, this drug-induced.
Yeah. You know.
Yeah.
They're even.
Yeah.
You know what? You should actually audition. My friend Chris Pham is a voiceover artist, and she produced the first ever. I'm trying to get her in here, but she's so busy. The first ever musical audiobook. It was called Spin, and it's based on Rumpelstiltskin. She's producing another one.
That's cool.
You should do that. And she's looking for actors. I can get you her info. You should just submit something.
info.
Why not?
I'll
I just look at he did that little voiceover, and I was like, dude,
that's my problem. I have a hard time like creating new characters. I can usually impersonate things like after I've heard them, but then like everything else is just like a combination of two different impersonations.
Well, I took a voiceover class, and it was the hardest. With my friends, I was like, "Oh no, this is not for me." I was in the booth because she threw you in the booth, and and it was weird hearing my voice. And she's like, "Well, what do you do when you're on the air?"
Yeah.
I said, "I don't know why this is my own voice is distracting me."
Yeah, it's not my.
Yeah.
I'll say it's not my strong point. I get sent out on voiceover work sometimes, and like some of them, it's like, okay, you're going in for a character, that's fine. But sometimes it's like I'm not the guy who's going to sell you a fucking watch or get you to join an insurance company. They're like, for those moments in your life that that's just not my.
Hey, jewelers.
There's guys who do that, and that's what they
That's
do.
what they do.
Like,
Yeah.
And
and they make. I mean, my friend Jay.
if you do it, you can make.
He is an awesome voice. He's been in Pringles commercial. I mean, like he'll post something. I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe that's you. And his voice sounds so different when
you just talk to him.
When I just talk to him, I'm like, Jay, I can't believe that's you. That's insanity.
Even Bob Carr has done some voiceover, and you hear like his clips, and it's just different from his.
I'm like, dude, that's you. I'm like, that's crazy. So what would you tell our listeners? Okay, so well, first of all, did you always know you wanted to be an actor? Like when you were young, were you like, I'm going to be an actor, or are you like, I'm going to be a cowboy? Like,
is
what?
that your
like,
voice? Is that your voice?
That's what. Now I'm doing my voiceover.
Have you like watched VHS of when I was little? That's exactly.
I did. It was like before they were stars. David with the penis Murgittroyd.
That was my nickname when I was 5, actually. It was really weird.
And I was like.
Yeah, I ran around naked a lot.
There goes David with the penis.
What'd you want to be?
Yeah, I did. I would say I didn't start performing real. Like I was in like choir and stuff when I was little. But I started in like high school. And, like it was kind of like that first time getting on stage and doing a show. I was like, oh okay, yep, this is what I want to do.
I like
and like I liked it as a kid, but I was like any like little boy, I was like, I'm gonna be a basketball player until like you get old enough that you realize, oh wait, I'm really terrible at basketball.
That's like the theme to like High School Musical. Wasn't he a basketball player? Anyway, go on.
Yeah.
Troy Bolton. Come on.
We are all in this together.
Keep your head in the game, Dave. All right.
Yeah, gotta get your head in the game. Yeah, wow, we are soaring. I'm just gonna keep fucking quoting.
High
School Musical.
I love High School Musical. I don't know why. I love High School Musical. I'm actually doing a show right now, and I looked at the director. I'm like, we literally have the whole cast of High School Musical in this room right now. We can totally not do Bright Star and just like flip it into High School Musical.
Yeah, Steve Martin and Disney are there.
Yeah, they totally go together. But anyway,
I'm so glad Zac Efron had other work after.
I know, good work too.
Yeah.
But
dude, Zac Efron is man, what a beefy, delicious man that guy is.
He's so hot.
It's unreal.
He is like, he did this movie with Matthew Perry, where he played the younger version of Matthew Perry. Where they go back
going on 30.
No, that was Jennifer
it was
Garner.
something. It was
But
like that. One of
17
or again or something or whatever.
And I was like,
The Parent Trap. Is that it?
Similar one, or Freaky Friday.
Yeah,
whatever.
That's the one I was thinking of. Not another Lindsay Lohan.
Another
not
Lindsay.
The Parent
I think
Trap.
those are.
But I was like, this dude is so... Because Christian Bale is like my number one. He's been my number one forever. But I was like, Zac Efron.
No, you have to watch him in Baywatch, the remake of it with The Rock.
Oh, Zac Efron?
Yeah. Because he's a lifeguard.
Just
so he's just
cut
like,
from
and he's
stone.
like ripped.
It's unreal.
Yeah, but they have trainers. I mean, come on. If I had I would be ripped if I had someone that was kicking my ass every day. I mean, I have one, but it's like a once a month thing.
I mean, it's crazy though, the dedication that like you read like some of the stuff of like
that's
what he eats and when he works out. And
but even like Christian Bale, he just played Dick Cheney.
Right. I just saw that,
this.
actually.
Was it good?
Yeah, I thought the movie as a whole was
Rockwell.
was very good, but his performance was. It was one of the very few times that you actually, because, you're always aware of who the actor is.
Yeah.
When you're watching it, you watch it, you're like, I never was like,
have
oh,
no
it's
idea
Christian
who that
Bale
is.
acting.
Yeah.
He was.
Well, he's
ridiculous.
like that. I mean, he has thanked his wife, and he's been like, I want to thank my wife who lives with a different person, because I think he's the type of actor that really like. If he's like Dick Cheney, then he is Dick Cheney until it's done filming. I love him. I know we got some flack for that whole thing when he was filming Batman or whatever he was filming.
Oh, he like went off on some of.
But I was like, and I love how I'm sorry, people I know like who are not in the business like at all, like we sit on our couches and watch, like they know what it's like. Like he's in this outfit that's probably hot as hell.
Right.
It's hot, and the guy kept on doing it. It was like a repeated thing.
Yeah, it's one of those things where
We're only
you're
getting
hearing
like
it
a
out of
clip it.
context
Yeah.
and you're getting like a little bit
Seeing
of a
the
clip. Like, not to defend like screaming at people
No,
on
but
set.
it happens. We're all human.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to lose your...
And like you're frustrated,
Yeah.
I mean, it was a little over the top. And who knows what the guy said back? I mean, like you said, but
Sure.
but Zac Efron. So anyway,
Yeah,
back
I came in when my wife had the flu recently. I came in, she was like watching some of. She literally was. This is the only time I've ever seen her sitting on the couches because she was
feeling
she
well,
had
yeah.
the flu. But she was just watching like movies. She was watching like Bad Grandpa or something. It's just like
Right.
something that came
Yeah.
on TV, and like even I walked in the room and I stopped
like-
and I was like, Jesus, he is good looking.
yeah, he is. It's okay. Listen, I think that there are a lot of beautiful women out there in Hollywood, but they
He's
have
a solid actor too.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah, he
He's
really
good.
is.
He's
I mean,
good.
that's why,
No,
like, you
he
look
is.
at what he was so much younger, but you look at High School Musical.
Yeah,
and
I mean
then
that's
now it's-
Disney and
yeah.
now stuff he's doing. I mean, even like I didn't see Greatest Showman yet.
I saw it. Yeah.
You saw it. How was he was in that? I mean, like,
yeah,
Hugh Jackman.
I like him. I didn't
But,
like
these-
Zendaya.
I mean,
who
these
was, like-
Hollywood actors. I mean, this was going to ask you too, because when I mentioned like changing my lifestyle, like the foods I'm eating and exercising, they get paid a lot of money, and they they're on camera. They want to be a certain way. It's kind of
sure.
but they have people at their at their fingertips. I mean, I guess that's. But then they have no privacy, so it's kind of
yeah,
like
there's like that.
Yeah.
there's that. So what would you tell someone who was like, hey Dave, or like you're doing this class, I'm really interested in getting into film and TV or acting. What do I need to do first? What do I need
to do first? You need headshots for sure,
Yeah.
and I think a lot of us fall into the definite trap of, oh, I have a friend with a camera.
Yeah.
I'm just going to get some headshots done. It's like one of the things that I'm definitely going to preach at this thing is like, I know shit gets expensive and like it's really tough, but you need to spend some money and you need to get good headshots, because if, you know, you're sending them into a casting director, they want to know you take yourself seriously. It's got to look like you.
Right.
And it doesn't have to be, you know, it doesn't have to be a glamour shot. But like, believe me, they're the shots that you see from some people, and then you look at the person and you're like, this isn't you.
Right.
Like, they want it to be you. Like, they
Right.
want when you come into the room, oh, okay, you look exactly like your headshot,
Right.
you know. There's certain websites to Actors Access. There's just like
Yeah, I'm on
sites that
that.
you sort of need to be on, and you need to have something that people can see. Like when someone Googles your name, you need to have some clips of yourself. You know, if you're a singer, you need to have some clips of you singing. You need to have some clips of you acting. Just something that, because since everything is so digital, if you send out to a manager, to an agent, and you're like, oh, you know, I'm really good, and they're like, okay, well, how do I know that?
Show
Like,
me.
what basically what they want to do is like, maybe they'll bring you in for a meeting, but if they are really going to take the time based on your headshot to look at you, they're going to just go online, watch the first 20 seconds of something, and be like, oh, okay. And you just got to basically, you need to figure out kind of your own branding. You need to figure out what makes you different. When you go to an audition, we're all like, everyone's good. That's the thing.
Right.
When you get into the professional world, it's not like, oh, okay, well, that guy's probably not that good. He's not that good.
No,
He's
they're
not that
good.
good. You walk in, everybody is good.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, or else they wouldn't still be doing it at this point. So you just got to figure why your goodness is more.
Yeah.
What makes you more interesting than the person you're going to audition before or after? What makes the casting director say, I think they're someone that people would want to work with? You know, and realizing when you do actually get into the room, like, these are just people. Like, when you go into the room, you're like, thank you so much for having me here. I'm really, really excited to be here. Like, just go in and be like, hey, what's going on? You know,
Right.
be a person.
Yeah.
I think is a big one. Yeah.
What keeps you going? I mean, you're talented. I mean, I know you're my friend, but you are very talented. But what keeps you going? Because this business can get very frustrating too. Because
for sure.
we have more rejection, I think, than we do until you've reached that like pinnacle.
Yeah.
But even those stars, they get
Yeah.
rejected. You know.
Yeah.
What keeps you going? How do you respond to rejection? What do you do?
It's definitely not always easy. You do have those days where, like, you just sit down and you're like, man, why am I doing this? But for the most part, you just got to realize that, like, it's not necessarily about you. You could go in and give the absolute best audition you've ever given in your life, and the casting director could be like, oh my God, they are perfect. We want to give you this role. And then the director says, well, the woman that we already cast for the role opposite you is only 5'4", so we can't
Right.
go with someone who's 6 foot tall. And it could be something that is completely out of your control. And a lot of times it is.
Yeah.
You learn by getting rejected a lot. You learn to not take it
Personally.
so personal.
Yeah.
There is always going to be like those ones where you're just like, God, I was so right for that, and it would have been, you know, career changing. And those are the ones that, you know, get you for a day or two. But for the most part, like, you go in, you do your thing. That's all you can do. You know, you can go in the room, you can do your thing, and then you got to try to leave and just forget about it, to be honest. And then if you get a call, awesome. And
Right.
if not, you just go on and do the next one.
That's like so important, because I know, you know, for us, when we talk to our students, you know, it's the same thing. Like, you're telling them, you know, you could have a perfect audition, but you just weren't right. You weren't the right puzzle piece that really fits into it. I mean, and how many times do you go and audition for something and you were probably the best one there, and then it goes to someone that the director knows or wants to work with. That's why, like, I love how you mentioned, you know, those are people that are behind those tables, and they want to get a sense of you.
Yeah.
You know, it's like no one likes an asshole kind of thing, and it's
sure.
like, how many times do you get roles because you
And
seem like
everyone knows each other.
right?
Yes.
You got
Go
it.
for
When
a
you're on a
bridge.
set, when you're doing a show, when you're doing something, can't tell you how many times where you'll be on something and be like, oh yeah, you worked with this person. And you're like, okay, oh, good thing I was nice.
Yeah, but even in theater, I always tell the kids, I'm like, guys, you know, you need to, like, if you're having this emotional moment, take a minute, step back inside, yourself, because we all know each other. You don't want to have that reaction because that could follow you around. You don't want to make that impression on someone. You
And
know,
now even
you know?
more so, especially in the digital world, because you can just be like, oh, Lauren Moran Mills, go on Facebook. Oh, we have all these mutual friends.
Right.
Hey, like so-and-so, what's Lauren like? And
Yeah, what was it like working with this person?
Right. So
Yeah.
it's like
Very
you
easily.
can get an even quicker,
Oh, yeah.
take on somebody.
So Kevin Schobel says, hi, Lauren. I directed Dave long-term in Godspell. I was the
God,
first
yeah.
guy to pay him. Was he the first guy to pay you? He's listening.
Oh yeah, but that wasn't for theater, buddy.
Kevin's in Hawaii now.
Yeah. Hey, man.
Aloha.
I think that is almost true. It was my first. Yeah, I think it was my first paid act. No, I'm sorry, Kevin. I did a play on a train
Oh, man.
where I
Remember that
got
existed.
paid like $20 to do like the Halloween Express in my hometown.
Oh,
Whip-
yes, they do.
my hometown.
Is
of
that where they do
Whippany.
the polar-
That's where they.
Yes.
we all do that. I did like
Yes.
those haunted
Yeah.
hay rides.
Yes.
But yes, as far as doing an actual production, Kevin was the first.
Who did
person
you
to
play in
pay
Godspell?
me. We had a rotating cast, so I played Jesus and Judas, and it depended on the. No, that's a lie. He booked me for Jesus and Judas, but I never ended up playing Judas. I only played Jesus
There you
because I
go.
was a diva in college, and I was like,
He said,
I
I'm
will
number 2.
not-
You're number 1, Kevin.
Yeah, you're in reality number 1.
See how we're all connected. I mean, just like we were just saying, we're all connected.
I just had a conversation with the friend about she got a job for someone, at a company, and it didn't work out. Where the person she got the job for burned some bridges there, and just by her telling me the story,
Yeah.
you now have that in the back of your mind if you ever come in contact with them.
Well,
So
that's
it's like
what happens.
right.
Yeah.
It's just.
So, Dave, what is your website? Where can everyone find you on the socials and your website?
On the socials.
On the socials.
Yeah. I have DaveMurgittroyd.com, which obviously everyone can just spell Murgittroyd.
Everyone knows. I mean, it's so easy.
Murgittroyd. And actually, Ari Frankel built my website for me. So
Ooh.
another shout out to
Yeah.
Ari.
Oh, that's right, 'cause he-
Another one of the many amazing
Talents.
things that he does. What do I have? Instagram, probably. Yeah, I think I'm just at my name, Dave_Murgittroyd, and then I have an actor page on Facebook, Dave Murgittroyd Actor. So you can give that a like if you want.
Yeah.
I try to share things, and I'll go on a binge where I'm like really good for like a week. where
Yeah, you
every-
do, and all of a
every
sudden you're,
day
like,
I post
gone.
everything,
Yeah.
and then I'm
Yeah,
like,
it's-
and then it's been 6 weeks, and I'm like, here's my dog eating a bone.
Yeah,
He's like MIA.
It's hard. It's
Yeah.
like yeah.
I do stories mostly now. I like doing the Insta stories and the Facebook stories because I don't always like everything to be on my social, forever. But a story, I'm kind of like, here's where I am right now, and then it goes away. So if you want to know what my story is, you better check
Right.
it. Sister.
What are you calling a sister?
So what? So Dave. So really, right now, nothing like super on the.
Good question.
That you can talk
I'm gonna
about even besides the teaching.
Okay, so we're doing that. We're doing another radio thing for the lottery. I filmed another spot for it recently, so that'll
You're gonna be like Flo.
That'll be
Flo. I hope so. I'm gonna be like, dude, I know
fine
him.
with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that. I shot a TD Bank commercial recently, so I don't know, with commercials, you never really know kind of when they're going to happen.
Yeah.
So those two things, the TV show, and then, I'm going to be collaborating with my buddy Mike for very serious time is the Instagram handle for that.
I have to
for
follow
the 1 minute sketches.
Yeah.
He's got an insane sense of humor. So I'll be collaborating with him again soon. I just wrote a couple things for it, so we're pretty pumped about shooting some of those.
Awesome.
Dang. That is amazing. No, I love it. And I love that we were able to reschedule. Like I said, I was
Yeah.
hoping to
And
get...
that you could come in. It was nice to have
I
someone
know.
in
I
the
said.
studio.
I just said I'm so happy I don't have to worry about the phone right now. It's so relaxing that he's here.
Wait, I could have done this over the phone?
Yeah.
Oh my
I know. He lives close, so I don't want to say where he lives.
I'm
though.
wearing pants right now.
I mean, you don't have
Seriously.
to wear pants in here.
We all know you have a penis.
That's what we have
Right,
to-
I have
might
a penis, the
encounter.
penis,
Not be
the
wearing
penis.
pants. I might not actually.
Can you
be
wear a
wearing
loincloth?
pants.
That's what she said. Please come in a loincloth.
I might have got. I feel like I kept it at first because I was like, well, if I ever do another production of Hair, and I was like, No, I'm gonna get rid of this.
I'm not going to keep the loin. We can always make you a loincloth.
Yeah. This specific one was a dance belt.
Oh, okay.
And with just fringe in the around the front. We had Elena did amazing work with all of the costumes.
She's fantastic.
But we had a little bit of an issue with the loincloth towards the end where it she had attached fringe all around the back, so it wouldn't just be my exposed
cheeks,
butt.
yeah.
But the problem was, then I couldn't fit into the dance belt anymore because it wouldn't expand, so I couldn't get it past like my knees. And I was like, she's like, so what are we gonna do? I was like, well, we open in about 8 hours. I was like, just cut all the fringe off the back. She's like, you're gonna be full ass to the audience. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? But it worked. But you know what? It worked for the character.
Yeah,
because the character's such a free spirit.
Yeah.
And that was fun. I think what the fun thing about that show was Dave's equity. And so Colin had the growing stage will hire like equity contracts. That's what Pioneer did. So I think it was great for the rest of the cast, who some of them were 17, 18, 19, to like, their 20s. To work alongside a professional, because they're going to just naturally, we always rise to whatever, not that they weren't talented, because they were, but... and you want to be at that level,
and it was rewarding on my side too, because so much of like once you cross over into being in the union, it's like it's just a matter of like, okay, I need to get a job, I need to get a job, I need to be doing something that's going to be paying me. But it was nice to kind of like do something where it was like, oh, everyone's just here just because they want to be here and they want to be performing, and they're all about like enjoying it and stuff like that. So that was like a really fun thing to.
And it was a very diverse cast, which was cool too.
Yeah, really talented group of people.
Diverse, really nice. Some of them I still keep in touch. Robbie, of course, Nick. Liz just messaged me last night about something. So, they all still keep in touch.
Yeah.
I was a choreographer, so I was in and out. I wasn't as immersed.
That boy Aaron is going to be a star.
Oh, my God, Aaron.
Be a star.
What a doll baby. So so amazing. So it was fun. I was going to say, did you feel like a mentor? I know that sounds so like, but yeah.
No, I don't know. I tried to just like immerse myself into the group rather than like, because I don't know, it's weird. Like I tried to.
No, you totally did, but
I tried to. Yeah, if like basically, if someone had a question that I thought I could help them with, but I never wanted to be like, all right, guys, in the professional world, this is what Yeah,
you don't want to be that guy.
But I do. But you know what? But I do. Like when I have a cast, like I will like explain that.
You're that guy. You're like, in the biz.
I would be one to be like, hey, leave your cell phone backstage.
Yeah,
during rehearsing. Like I'm like, don't be on your phone when you're rehearsing.
Say it like
I'm
you
like,
know
you can go off to the side and text everybody back and go on Instagram in 20 minutes when you have a break.
Yeah, but just like be in the moment.
Don't have it with you while you're rehearsing.
Well, that's what was so funny about American Idiot was I let them have phones on stage, and
oh my God.
Because that was the whole opening number.
Yeah.
I see, and everything was through texting. Like he sends these letters, but I said, just you're going to text it. No one sends letters anymore.
Right.
I mean that because I said we could do it as a period piece, or we can do it contemporary. But no, I don't say in the professional. No, but sometimes I'll be like, what, like on Broadway, like you can't change anything. Like I said, did you ever notice how you listen to the original cast recording of a Broadway show? And the characters sound a certain way, and you might not see the original cast, but you see, the next person. You notice how they sound the exact same way because they have to, because that's what works. They don't add lines, don't add anything, don't change anything. You cannot do that. It's going to throw off your partner. Again, that's self-indulgent. You're thinking about yourself and not, so stuff like that. But otherwise, I love, especially because I work with the college age kids, I want to collaborate with them because I want them to have that experience. I always say, listen, if you have an idea, talk to me about it. I obviously have the final say, but if I like something, I'm like, do it. That's great.
Go for it.
Go for it. Because I want them to kind of have that. That's how they're going to build up their instincts. But you don't want to be like, I'm a union actor, and
like, excuse me, I need to take my 10-minute break.
I'll be in my trailer.
Where is my cot?
My equity
that damn cot.
The equity couch.
The equity
couch.
Still in the contract.
It's like, I want a freaking sofa.
Is it still in there?
I did a contract one time where
that's so funny.
one of the guys that I did the show with was like a union rep, and
God.
we were in the kitchen of the place we were living, and we opened it up. He's like, "You see that colander?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "I fought for that."
Oh,
He's like, "I made sure that there's colanders in housing." I was like,
you're like, thanks
for fighting the
Thanks
good fight,
for-
brother. Thanks for tackling.
I'm like,
the
I want a
important-
freaking margarita bar in that
Yeah, I was like,
contract.
thanks for tackling the important issues.
The
Oh my
colander.
god, the colander.
He's like, "We can make spaghetti, bro." I was like, "Yeah."
You're
Okay.
like, woo! No, is the cot still? I think it is.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
equity
it's just
cot.
like-
It's still. We have a couch.
But I don't want a cot. I want a couch.
You want to pull?
Yeah.
You want a Jennifer convertible?
I want a
I
Jennifer
want a sleep
convert-
sack. That's what I want.
I mean, definitely it did happen once in a while where like a joke would be made or something, you know, where I'd be like, "Oh, excuse me, that's my couch." You know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Get off
you
my
know.
couch.
Listen, the actors' union is in place for a reason.
Yeah.
Because otherwise people. Because I think it's easy to. I don't want to say abuse actors. That's not what I mean.
No,
but
but you can get taken advantage
You
of.
can
when
get taken
you're- when-
advantage of.
especially when you're green and you don't know, and you always have. I have one of my best friends who's out in LA. He did this. He did this show when he first got out there, 1,000 Ways to Die.
Right. Oh yeah.
And he like, without knowing it, he had to do this stunt. They didn't tell him
Right.
until they had filmed everything, and then the last shot of the night was like he had his character got like hit by a meteor or something, like while he was at a party. That was like the weird way he
died.
guy died. And they like rigged up this thing on him that it would like explode, and it was like a really cool shot, but they got one shot at it and it like caught on fire and he got like really severe 2nd degree and almost 3rd degree burns like in his armpits, and he was like, realistically, like, I could have sued the shit out of,
Right,
like
yeah.
everybody. He's like, but I was a non-union actor and like I couldn't say no at the time and be like, no, I'm not willing to, like, I don't feel safe doing this. He's like, and the way I thought about it was like, I don't know anything yet, so I was like, if I
He doesn't wanna fuck up
complain,
his
like,
career.
yeah, I'm gonna be blacklisted from like every production company, and then like
Right.
you learn more about those things, you're like, oh, that's not really how it works. Like,
No, yeah. That's why there's unions to protect
yeah,
you.
yeah.
Well, it's like that famous, it's so sad, that Twilight Zone where that actor was decapitated with those children when the helicopter.
I don't even know about
Yeah, helicopter is supposed to land in the water and they got killed. It was him. He was like rescued. I can't remember what the actor's name was. If my husband's listening, he'll text me. But yeah, killed on set.
Holy shit.
I mean, you gotta be. I mean,
Scary.
Yeah, I mean, it is. There's some dangerous stuff out there. Even when we had Bethany, and Bethany, she said she got paid for stunts for Boardwalk
Yeah.
Empire because she had to jump out of a tub. But she's jumping up out of a full bath. I mean, you could slip.
Right,
fall.
and the stars are not going to do it. They're going to get that stunt person to.
No, but I think she was the character.
She was the character
She was in
doing
the
it.
mental institution, so she had to jump out naked. So it's like you're naked and you're jumping out of a tub, and she goes, it was considered stunting.
Yeah.
So Vic Morrow, thank you, Vic Morrow. Am I correct, Kevin? Right? It was him and the 2 children, and I think they were decapitated. See, Kevin knows everything. That's Kevin Schwobel. Literally knows.
Kevin also. He just said, "Ask about Mr. Silent."
Oh yeah, Mr. Silent.
Mr. Silent.
Yeah, what's
Oh,
Mr.
okay.
Silent?
So another good friend from college, Brian Parks. He is an 85-year-old man in a like 37-year-old's body. He's just very into old-timey comedy, and he makes all these short films, silent short films, and they're all very, very funny. But I did an episode with him maybe like last year. I was playing like a prince or a king or something.
Of course.
something that was just like, oh,
Of
long,
course you
long
were.
flowing hair.
Yes.
I'm not sure where he's at as far as new episodes at this point, but he's got probably 8 or 9 of them out, and they're all super silly and super fun, and Brian's a very.
I think I've met him. I think I have met him before.
He's a guy who.
Yeah, he talks. Yes, I have met him.
That's all you got to hear is somebody fucking talks like this for a second.
That
And you're like,
is-
oh, that's Brian Parks.
Yeah. Oh,
And then
that's
everyone's
so
like, I
funny.
know that guy.
That's so. We gotta do a show together.
I saw
Dave.
him in a play one time before I met him, and then I met him after. I was like, hey, you were really great. He's like, oh, thanks a lot. I was like, that's your real human
like,
being
holy
voice?
crap.
I was like, I thought you did that for the character you were playing. I was like,
He was like,
God.
we got to do a show together. I want to get. You know what? Because I'm a hustler, I'm not afraid to. I can get a play. I just need the freaking money. I got to build up some capital because I have some dream shows that I want to do. And actually, you'd be perfect for them, but I'm not going to tell. I don't I don't kiss and tell. Well, I guess I'm not kissing, but I don't tell.
She doesn't put them out there yet.
I don't put anything out there until it's.
I feel like you've told me about one of them already.
I think I probably have. I think I have.
I won't
Maybe.
say it.
Yeah, don't say it, because then you'll be dead to me. Yes, that's the one. He knows. We're gunning for that one.
See it on camera.
Yes, that is
Kevin
the one that
Schwalbe
I
couldn't
want
see
you.
it.
That I want you for. But this was awesome. We stayed on late today because I don't have to get my
did.
kids. My kids are in drama
God,
club.
I'm sorry.
No, please. It was great. I love chatting.
I talk a lot.
No, but that's what we like.
Yeah. So real quick, give our listeners again
Yeah, one more time.
your website and
Sure.
your social platforms.
www.davemurgittroyd.com. Dave_Murgittroyd on Instagram. I think I have a Twitter account, but I don't.
It's probably Dave
know what
Murgittroyd.
it is. Most likely, they're all related. And Dave Murgittroyd actor is my Facebook page.
And keep your eyes peeled. New Jersey Lottery. I'm telling you, you're going to be like
Yeah,
Flo.
Jersey Lottery. You might.
Can you imagine you
there's
become
There's
like
a board game commercial I shot 3 years ago that just keeps popping up places.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is it on your reel? Because you
I
posted
think
your
it was
right?
I think I updated it though.
Okay.
Since. Yeah.
And listen, he's great. Like I said, he always is willing to give me, when I text him about stuff, questions. He's always very either I don't know, or yeah, don't, or don't
Or
go
don't go to
there.
that.
Don't go to
Don't go to that
casting.
home.
Yes.
That is not a real audition.
Yeah.
Yes. That is porn/murder.
Don't do it. Anyway, DaveMurgittroyd.com, Dave Murgittroyd actor, Dave Murgittroyd on Insta. Follow him, support him. Your stuff's great. I mean, all the stuff that you never disappoint.
Thanks.
And really quick, you're a
Appreciate
Mets
it.
fan. Does anyone ever tell you that you look like Thor?
Like Noah Syndergaard.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just the long blonde hair.
It is. No, but no.
A guy legitimately stopped me outside my gym. He drove past and then pulled back, opened his window, and then looked at me and was like, "I'm sorry." And I was like, "What?" Because I always wear a Mets hat to the gym, and he's like, "Are you Noah Syndergaard?" And I was like, "Dude, he's pitching tonight in Queens." I'm like, "No."
I don't think so.
I'm like, "Yeah, he's working out at the Retro Fitness on Route 46 in Parsippany."
Join Blink. That's where I go on 46. I like
Blink.
Blink Fitness.
Does it
Blink.
cost a lot of money? I don't know.
No, $15 a month.
Wow.
That's it, baby.
Going to Blink.
Go to Blink. But anyway, thank you for coming. I'm
Yeah,
so
thank you
happy
so
we were
much.
in
Oh,
thank you
schedule.
guys.
Thanks
This
for
was a blast.
I know. Come back anytime, honestly, because I know that you can come and be
Cool,
like a
I'm not
guest
doing
host.
anything. I'll see you next Thursday.
Yeah. Actually, do you know Brittany Goodwin?
Yeah.
She's coming in next
Of course
week.
I knew Brittany
But
Goodwin.
Brittany Goodwin's coming in next week. She moved to LA. Little shout out. She writes opera now.
Yeah, your boyfriend works on works for NASA or something.
And yeah, her boy. So they moved out to LA,
Yeah.
and she comes back every once in a while. Her family's
she's doing
here.
the
She's from.
bi-coastal thing. It's
She's from
awesome.
your. She's
yeah,
from,
we're
right.
same high school.
And she's coming in next week. And you know Alejandro.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to
know
work
Alex
on getting
really well.
him in
Yeah.
too. So I'm working the whole New Jersey.
She's a
For
hustling.
sure.
the New Jersey actor.
Sorry,
circuit.
Sorry, Alejandro. We called him Alex when we worked on it.
Alejandro. Yeah, he's on New Amsterdam.
Yeah, he's great.
He plays Nurse
great.
Casey. Nurse Casey.
That
something.
sounds right. That sounds right.
On and everyone, I have not watched New Amsterdam yet because I don't know how to turn on my TV,
Yeah.
but I will.
I keep
will.
seeing, commercials for it. Though.
Yeah, and he was actually he was in some article that it was the top 10 people that you should be looking out for. So New Jersey, everyone loves to shit on New Jersey.
He's doing really well.
But
right
don't
now.
you
It's
feel like
great.
people
It's
love to shit
awesome.
on New Jersey? But I'm like, everyone, there's so much New Jersey out there in film, TV, Broadway.
Anything
Well,
can
I mean-
happen in Jersey.
It's-
Sorry, that's my
Listen,
that's my lottery
that's
plug
your
right
tagline.
there.
The
I
Star
love
Ledger
that.
had that whole thing a long time, it was 10 years ago. They had all the actors
Yeah.
from New Jersey. It was like every incredible actor. was
It's from New Jersey.
So it's
and I was
the
having-
people that shit on Jersey don't know. They
Yeah.
just don't know.
and it's expensive to live
Because they
here.
just think Jersey Shore or the industrial area.
Exactly,
They
they're
don't
not
know,
Totally.
because where we live, it's beautiful. And where do you?
I mean, I'm in the industrial area. I'm in Cardi.
But that's okay. But that's the thing. That's what everyone thinks New Jersey is. But then
yeah,
you go where
just
my sister lives, and it's
Smokestacks or Guido's at the Jersey
Yeah.
Shore.
Yeah.
What exit are you from?
yeah. What
Yeah,
exit?
I'm like,
What
okay,
exit?
15W, and
And we're like, fine.
at least I don't have to drive down one freaking road for 3 hours to get to my house.
That's true. It's like going to my sister's house. But anyway, thank you all for tuning
Yeah.
in. Next week, we'll be back with Brittany Goodwin. Thank you, Dave, for coming in. But I'm pissed that you didn't bring me a cookie, but it's fine. I'll get over it.
Yeah.
We'll just
And,
have to go check it out.
Go check out Route 9 and Green City Pops and all that stuff
Yeah, eat
on
all the cookies.
Insta. And thanks for tuning
Eat all
in.
the vegan
Hopefully,
cookies.
do you guys think we'll get snow this weekend? I'm not going to say it because
I
the
think
last
tomorrow,
time.
our buddy Dave Curran said, I loved his post because he's like, everyone's talking about Saturday night and no one's talking about tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Tonight into tomorrow morning, and he's like, so I have a
gonna be the
feeling that
sneaky one.
I think tomorrow's gonna be really messy.
Well, the last time we were here, it was during that snowstorm that was
Yeah,
it,
no one
there's,
was
just
ready
happened.
for.
The one.
It took him how long to
Like
get home?
6 hours.
6
Yeah.
hours to get home.
Yeah.
And I was supposed to go see Toto that night at MPAC. We had free tickets because my best friend, knows Shem Von Schreck, who's the bass player for Toto. So he got us free tickets. We were going to go backstage passes. I got snow tires. We couldn't get there. They played because they were already in Morristown. What are they going to do? Not
Yeah.
play?
Yeah.
And people in Morristown can get there. But I said, Danny and I jinxed ourselves because we're like, the snow's not going to happen. And it started to fall as we were here. And I couldn't believe. And
It got serious quick.
It got serious quick. I just think we weren't prepared for it. And then
we
I think
weren't.
once, and then
No.
everyone got out of work early. And then once we're on the
And it
roads, how
still
you
took 7 hours to get home. It was
not for me because
unbelievable.
I just went to Denville, but still.
I went Morris Plains to Parsippany, and it took me 3.5
That's
hours.
Oh my
friggin'
god, it's insane.
4 miles.
And the accidents, and people are
Yeah, it
blaming
was
the
bad.
drivers. I said, well, the problem was that the roads weren't salted or
No, they
primed.
weren't prepared.
But then how do you get on? How do you plow when everyone got out of work early?
and there was all these accidents happening, so it just kept.
It was
getting
just a
worse.
mess, but I know Phil Murphy's like on it right now. Like I know that the government was like,
I'm
they
sure
are
they're
so
gonna.
ready.
Yeah, they're gonna be so.
Murphy's smoking a joint right now and is like, we are preparing.
We are ready
for
for the snow. I kind of want a snow day. I know I keep saying goodbye.
I don't want it on the weekend though.
No, I want it during the week, and we love to roast marshmallows at our house. That's like our because we have a fireplace. So, my mother-in-law bought the kids these. They're actually
Those,
for
whatever telescope,
Yep.
bing, whatever.
So we make s'mores.
yeah, well, we
in
do
the
love
fire.
our snow days, but
Yeah.
I like them during the week.
No, during the week.
I-
so
when
the
I don't have
wanna-
work.
Yeah, exactly.
Not on like the weekend.
No,
you know?
when you want to go out. So I'm hoping for a little snow day so we can make s'mores and I can cook food. And every time there's a snow day, I immediately like cook and bake, and I'm like,
Yeah.
You're like
you know,
Miss Domestic.
I
in the
am.
house.
Don't get dressed, don't shower. It's great.
She drinks.
I drink during the week.
On a Wednesday?
On a Wednesday.
On a Wednesday.
A
She wants
bottle
snow
of
days on
wine.
Wednesday, yeah.
I do. On a Wednesday.
All right.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, everybody. Peace out.